Hello dear students, in continuation with the discussion about simple permanent tissue, today we'll discuss the other type of simple permanent tissues, and these, as you know, these are the protective tissues. As we have already discussed that in plants there are two types of tissues, simple permanent tissues and complex permanent tissues. Simple permanent tissues, which are made up of only one type of cells, are further categorized into two categories, supportive and protective. Supportive, of course, the one that provides support to the plant, and in that case we have discussed about the three types of supportive permanent tissues, that is parenchyma, collenchyma and sclerenchyma. So today here we discuss about the protective tissues. As the name itself clearly indicates, these are the tissues that provide protection to the plant body. So there are two types of protective tissues. First is epidermis. Epidermis, you can say it forms the outermost layer over plant. It forms an outermost covering over all aerial as well as underground parts of the plant. And if you look at the cells of epidermis, the epidermis is made up of living cells that are compactly packed, having no intercellular spaces. As you know, their function is to provide protection. Then in order to provide protection, they must be continuous. So they are continuous, and of course they have a waxy coating of cuticle, right? And the epidermis of leaves has a small pores, that is stomata, surrounded by kidney shaped guard cells, right? So the epidermis of leaves and some other aerial plants, parts of the plant, for example the green roots and green stem and green branches, in that case also they have the small pore like structures, and these pore like structures are known as stomata, and these stomata are surrounded by the kidney shaped or bean shaped cells called guard cells. So if you look the lateral view of epidermis, here in epidermis you will find the compactly packed cells, and in that compactly packed cells there are the small opening, and this small opening is known as stomata. So here you can see the lateral view, and if you look at the surface view of the epidermis, on epidermis you will observe this kind of surface, and in between that surface you find the small holes which are surrounded by the kidney shaped cells. So these small pores are known as what? They are stomata, and these kidney shaped cells are known as guard cells. So the function of guard cells is to control the opening and closing of stomata, right? So if we look at the functions of epidermis, So first of all, as the name itself suggests that it provides protection. So you can say it protects plant from mechanical injury and presence of waxy coating cuticle. It prevents the excessive loss of water. So as it is a waxy coating, it is a waterproof covering, and this waterproof covering protects the plant from losing the water excessively, right? And of course, presence of stomata helps in transpiration. And as you know, what is transpiration? Transpiration means loss of water from the plant in the form of water vapors. Now you will be thinking that stomata is responsible for loss of water, then how it is useful? Of course it is useful, because this loss of water creates a vacuum or creates a suctional pull in the plant cells, so that plant is capable of absorbing water from roots with the help of xylem. So stomata, they help in transpiration, and this transpiration helps in absorption of water and minerals from soil by xylem. So in roots of plants, there are the conducting tissues known as xylem, about which we'll be discussing in next lectures also. So this xylem is capable of absorbing water and minerals from roots, and this process is facilitated by the vacuum which is created in the upper parts of the plant due to loss of water. That process is known as transpiration. In other words, you can say that this transpiration, it provides a suctional pull in the plants, right? And the other function of stomata is these stomata also help in gaseous exchange for photosynthesis and respiration. As you know, plants photosynthesize their own food, and during that photosynthesis, they need oxygen, they need carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, and they release oxygen back into the atmosphere. So that exchange of gases, the exchange of the gases like carbon dioxide and oxygen, that all occurs through stomata that are found on the epidermis of the plant, right? So another type of protective tissue other than epidermis which you can observe in case of plants is the cork. So second type of protective tissue is cork. So cork is made up of dead cells cemented by a deposition called Suberin. So due to deposition of Suberin, the cork cells, they become more thick walled and they are again very compactly packed. So cells are thick walled, compactly packed cells. And as you have seen that epidermis was containing a single layer, but cork is having multiple layers. Right? So if you look at the function of the cork, also it, as the name suggested, it provides protection against mechanical injury, water loss and invasion by parasites. As you have seen that the cork cells are very thick walled, compactly packed cells, because of which they provide protection against everything. They provide protection against excessive loss of water. They provide protection against mechanical injury. They also provide protection against parasitic invasion. Right? And there is a very important use of this cork also. It has got commercial uses. The barks of some of the trees, they have got important applications, if you see. So for example, you must have heard of the bark of cinnamon, which is used as a common ingredient of spices. So that is what? That is cork. And also cork used in bottles is obtained from the tree known as Quercus suber. Quercus suber, which is used for making the stoppers of bottles, and also used for packing, and they also used for making your sport equipments. So that is the commercial application of the cork or bark of the tree, right? So that is all about the protective type of simple permanent tissues, and in next lecture we will be starting with the complex permanent tissues like xylem and phloem. Have a nice time. Goodbye till then.